watching The David Robinson Show
on the Coyoteman Show Network.
Real talk, real people, real conversation.
And good evening, and welcome to The David Robinson Show. Real talk, real people, real conversations. Tonight's topic is keeping the dream alive. I have a special guest on my show, Mr. Marlon Jackson. Is someone who decided to do his part by keeping the dream alive and making a difference in the community where he is and spreading abroad. Mr. Marlon Jackson, I want you to tell my guest tonight your part, the man and the legend of who you are in keeping the dream alive, and your part as an entrepreneur. I believe that you had 5 principles that you did as far as having a dream, a desire, dedication, discipline, and determination to make you a successful businessman. So without further ado, you can tell my guests a little bit about what you did to keep your dream alive and to do some things to make a difference. And a man who never really had a job.
First of all, David, have you gotten your shots?
Yes, I did have my shots.
Okay, all right. Well, I can take my mask off.
And I got my mask here. Yes.
All right, I'll take mine off then. I ain't want to get you sick here.
I got you. You're good.
Well, thank you for having me on your show again. I grew up in the 50s and 60s, so I had an opportunity to be part of a whole lot of violence and a whole lot of good things. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it came from the young people. We were the ones out in the streets. We were the ones who had a voice. We were the ones who cared about our future. We were the ones who wanted better things for ourselves. And the good thing about us when we grew up, we didn't have to look for jobs that way. We sort of just looked on how we can make some money.
Gotcha.
If it snowed, we shoveled snow.
Mm-hmm.
If it was fall and the leaves was coming off the trees, we went out there and raked some leaves. We just always found something to make money. We didn't even know we were supposed to have a job. We didn't know what a resume was.
Gotcha.
And, so it created the entrepreneur in me. It sort of made me understand that I can make money by using my own skills and my own innovation and my own thoughts. And, I like being a free Negro.
I got you.
So far I've been free all these years, and hopefully I'll continue to be free and show other folks how they can be free.
So what got you to the point, made up your mind that you decided you wanted to work for yourself at an early age?
1972, I joined the Air Force. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I didn't see any Agent Orange or any wars. I was an Air Force veteran. But when I was away, my father lost his job at the steel mill. Uh-huh. Because once the Vietnam War went over, they didn't need all these workers anymore for the steel mill. So he never got a severance pay. They never gave him a transferable skill. And I just saw him turn into this weak wino.
Wow.
That's when the wino came out. That's when everybody who got laid off from the mill, they didn't have no money. They just sat around and drank wine. Everybody had a wine bottle. I'm sure you heard of Boone's Farm and all those different things that they had back then. And they just sat around and played checkers and drank wine. And, and I sort of told myself, I said, you know what? I'm never going to allow anybody to say I'm fired.
Okay.
Matter of fact, if somebody tells me I'm fired, we might start fighting, because that means you're trying to think I worked for you.
Right.
And, and I just always used my own skills, but I was blessed. My mother was a school teacher. Mm-hmm. She taught school for 39 years. She was an AKA. She had a double master's degree in math and science. So, I had a little bit of leverage on the average person, growing up in that kind of household.
So when did you first step out into entrepreneurship?
When I'm going to be honest with you, I was in Los Angeles, and I had lived in Houston, Texas, and I got caught up in some bad things with an attorney, which put me in jail.
Okay.
And it didn't matter that I came from Howard University and I was a Vietnam veteran and all this good stuff about me, never been arrested before. And it's a long story, that's a whole nother show. But when I came out, I was trying to find a job and everybody was trying to lowball me because I had this conviction.
Right.
You know, so I was like, wow, man, this is deep. You know, they're going to control, you know, my economy.
And your destiny.
And my destiny based on something that I don't believe, you know, fit what happened anyway. But, you know, that's another story. But so I went to a Jackson Hewitt in Houston, Texas, and they hired me on the spot.
Okay.
With no training, no nothing. Because I looked like a black guy who can get black people.
Gotcha.
And he didn't know I recognized what he was doing. But I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and play along with this and learn everything I can. And I did that. And I started my own tax practice, and it's been almost 30 years now.
30 years?
Almost 30 years now, and I've been trying my best to get other people involved in the tax thing, but the powers that be, H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, those ones who can advertise, they make it seem like you got to go to Harvard, you got to have all these high-end degrees, you got to be a CPA, you got to have these licenses. And so black people would be like, well, I ain't got none of that stuff, so I'm going to get me a chicken restaurant. Well, you know, I can always make some chicken, but the economy is in taxes. I mean, it's a $15 billion a year industry, and we are 80% of the customers. But we only own 12% of tax offices because of the bamboozle. You know, whenever they can advertise lies, which they do well, we believe them.
Gotcha.
And we have been believing these lies all the way back to my mom and dad.
30 years. So in 30 years, how were you able to stay determined to the dream that you have, and not only making a difference in your life, but the community and your family life as well?
Well, you know, one thing is, once we learn a skill, we need to teach someone else that skill. So my customers, I have a lot of customers, and I get a chance, when I get a chance to get them in front of me, I get a chance to find out who they are. And once I find out who they are, I try to incorporate some things that can help them become better at what they do. You know, I think we call it best practices. What's the best way to do things? So that's why we need more black people in the tax prep industry, so that we can get people in front of us. Because if you go to the white people, H&R Block and Jackson Hewitt, you're going to get in there and they got a policy like get them in and get them out. In other words, we ain't got no time to be talking to them. Just sit them down here. If they gave you a piece of paper, put it in and tell them how much it's going to cost and get them out of here.
Well, let me ask you a question. What makes Mr. Jackson, your actually tax preparation, different than the others?
Well, for one thing, I'm black.
Okay.
You know, my goal is to get at least $1 billion of that $15 billion every year, because $1 billion can go a long way to help our nonprofits, people with good ideas who need access to capital, even being able to donate to like the United States Black Chamber. They need money. They're begging for money from corporate America all the time. And it just seems like since we're 80% of the customers, you would think that we would get a bigger piece of the pie. But since they got us pushed away, they want us to play basketball and they want us to cook chicken. But I can guarantee you, if I can get some of these people listening to this show to hear what I got to say, they may open up a tax office.
So that's what we want to get into.
Yeah.
How can you, the thing is passing it on, keeping the dream alone, keeping the dream alive, and helping those around you in your community. Then again, their ultimate goal, someone going to get their taxes done, is to really just get their money back. What makes the luxury of being able to come to your office and different?
Well, my office is something like a barbershop. I mean, when people come in my office, they don't know if they're getting their hair done or getting their taxes done. I mean, it's music playing, I have incense burning, I got black Malcolm X on my wall, Martin Luther King, I got black art, Africans, that you feel sort of invested in when you come to my office. My people come back after tax season. You know, they have such a good experience because you're not supposed to get a refund check and be mad. You know, and a lot of people get a refund check from Jackson Nation of Black, get charged $800. They're leaving there pissed off with a refund check. And my goal is to try to make people feel better than they made my mom and them feel. My mom and them felt terrible at tax time. They made them feel like, here come the IRS. They're coming to get you. They're coming to take you to jail. They're right down the corner. And every year, man, it was a stressful time in my house, and a lot of older people can probably attest to that. So what I did was I turned tax season into something that's beneficial to black people. Okay. You know, I mean, I want to help that battered women's shelter, you know, that needs some money. You know, I want to bring some of that money back to the community because I make enough money to take care of me and my family, but it's never good enough for me to just be able to take care of my family. My family's bigger than me. And I don't want to be the only one with a swimming pool, you know what I mean? Everybody can come to my house to swim. So my goal is to try to help people become self-sufficient, you know, and get involved in this economy that's going on all around them. You know, we don't want to miss out on that. Matter of fact, I'm glad I said that because we have a unique opportunity right now with the United States Black Chamber. Go to usblackchambers.org because right now there's going to be a lot of contracting opportunities, and this doesn't come around but every 40 years. So if you miss it right now, you're missing something for your kids because we need to start getting into some generational wealth so our kids don't have to worry about what their life's going to be like. You know, we got to start leaving something. You can't leave a job.
That's true. You
know, you can't leave your kid a job.
Okay.
You know, even though they did that when I grew up in the steel mill. If your dad worked at the steel mill, there was a good chance you was going to work at the steel mill too. But I'm glad, you know, I'm almost glad they stopped that. It messed up the town where the steel mill was, but it made people have to leave town and go to college and try to better themselves.
So what we're going to do here, we're going to take a few minutes break here, and then we're going to come back, and I want you to break down and tell people more about how they can get in touch with you.
Okay.
And if they are very much interested in the dream that you have to have a black tax across the country.
Absolutely.
That's a dream you have, and how it can get in contact with you, and we're going to take it from there.
I look forward to that, David.
You're watching The David Robinson Show
on the Coyoteman Show Network.
Real talk, real people, real conversation.
We must secure our families. KFG Life Insurance Specialist is a company that partnered with 15 of the top life insurance companies to ensure you get the best pricing, knowledge, and products to suit your family needs. Some people believe that term insurance is better than whole life insurance, while others feel the complete opposite. Some may feel like universal life is the way to go, and others may feel it's better to have a whole life policy. The truth is, neither of the products are better. One just may be more suitable for your family. Our life insurance specialists are not biased, as they are partnered with several life insurance companies. This ensures our clients get the best pricing, education, and products that are suitable for their families. Let KFG Life Insurance Specialist make these decisions easier for you and your family. Our office is located at Security Square Mall, next to Burlington, in the Coyoteman Show Network. Please call to make an appointment at 443-400-5224 or go to www.lifeinsurancespecialist.org. That's www.lifeinsurancespecialist.org. Let KFG Life Insurance Specialist help you prepare your family in the present, because the future is not promised. Act now.
You're watching The David Robinson Show
on the Coyoteman Show Network.
Real talk, real people, real conversation.
And welcome back to The David Robinson Show. Real talk, real people, real conversations. Back to Mr. Marlon Jackson, a man that's making a difference in the community and keeping the dream alive. Not only Martin Luther King dream, but his dream as well. So, I want you to continue. We're going to get into the point of if someone wants to start a tax business, not just get their taxes done. And I know we don't have enough time to dive into the whole matter, but just give my guests a little information about how they can go about doing that.
Okay.
And getting in contact with you.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say that this is a very special man here. He has introduced me to some really wonderful people, and he's given me a platform to come out and talk to you about the tax business. The tax business is not what you think it is. There's really only two things the tax business does. It gets your money back faster, and you don't have to pay up front. Because the rest of it basically is data entry. You just need to know where the data goes. But I'm a licensed reseller of a software. And it's a pretty popular software, Crosslink. You know, it's one of the top 5 softwares. So if someone's interested in getting into the tax business, I help them from A to Z. And I give you how the business really operates, not the bamboozle that you'll get from your majors. Because I've been to their trainings, and you're not going to use 80% of the stuff that they teach you.
And tell me, some people believe that that the tax business is only for 3 months. Is that so?
It used to be. I used to love it because I make a 12-month income in 3 months. But since this virus has been here, and the government has sort of incorporated itself into taxes because we got the database, so now all year long people are coming. I've made more money in the last 2 years because of the virus. And the good thing about it now is that people don't want to come to your office, so it's become almost virtual. You know,
Wow.
Yeah, I have a BTO app where people just upload their stuff to me, and then I have offices in Charleston, South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, Charlotte, Philadelphia. I'm getting ready to do Baltimore, Forestville, Maryland, Sacramento, California, and Los Angeles right now. But the goal is to be all over the United States, you know, and we're called BTO, which means Black Tax Offices. So if you see in the future a sign with the big taxes written on it in red and BTO in the corner, just know that's the Black Tax Office, and we're coming. But the only way I can get there is I need people to believe that it's something that can help their family.
Amen, amen. That sounds like a winner.
Yeah, that's what I need.
I definitely thank you because you are making a major difference, teaching people how to be entrepreneurs and be business owner, and taking the myth away.
I don't want to cut you off, but you know one of the main reasons I love this more than anything? Because 18-year-olds can do taxes.
Okay.
And if you teach somebody at 18 years old how to do taxes, because I don't care if they do taxes or whatever they do, they're going to have to do taxes. It's going to take away all this fear that they have of taxes. It's going to make them save more of their money because now they sort of understand that the IRS is basically just a collection agency. You know, and we have a lot of opportunity right now to grab the money that they're taking from us, but we got to get people in front of us so we can sort of let them know how to do it.
Let's talk a little bit about this fear. Why do people fear the IRS?
Well, because the IRS is a collection agency, so they make themselves look like the law, like they're the CIA, the FBI. We're coming to get you. We're right down the corner. You better pay your taxes. We're going to garnish your wages. We're going to come and get all your house. We're going to take your kids. And when you keep hearing that all these years, right, you start believing it.
Yep.
Look, I would have never known who they really are hadn't I got into the tax business because I was one of those people who thought they was like going to come get me. You know, the IRS really can't do too much to you unless you're laundering money in overseas bank accounts. They're also governed by collection agency rules and guidelines. You know, like they can't keep garnishing your wages. A lot of people say, oh, God, they garnish my wages. They're going to take all of them. They can garnish one wage. But they got us sort of scared with these tactics to make us pay because they're a collection agency.
Wow.
If you're trying to get money, ain't you going to try to make somebody feel sort of like they better pay you or
else?
Or you're going to get them? And they've done that to us for so long that we believe that, man, they're like the monsters are down the street. They're coming to get you. And we're the only ones who really have that fear. White people do not fear the IRS. They want all their money back. They don't care what the heck's happening. They feel like you took their money. If I get somebody black money back, you know what they do? I don't know, Mr. Jackson. I don't know, man. I don't want no problems. You know, I'm like, what do you mean you don't want no problems? You're entitled to this money. But we've been bamboozled so long, and that's why we need black tax officers.
So what made you, I know you got them in other states and other cities, Baltimore. What made you really want to come to Baltimore?
Baltimore has a great upside. It's getting ready to be Baltimore again. I remember Baltimore way back when I was younger. Baltimore was a wonderful town. I don't know how it got like it is right now, but I believe that with this new job program, this infrastructure program, there's going to be a lot of jobs out here in Baltimore. There are already people buying houses and fixing them up and trying to bring the city back to greatness. But don't ever think Baltimore is not one of your top cities in the United States. It is. It has the same problems all the other cities have. You got these young people out here killing each other. So that's not something that's just Baltimore.
It's all over.
It's all over. But I think there's a lot of opportunity for people in Baltimore if you're looking for something to do that you can pass on to your kids and to your family. You're going to have to get your taxes done somewhere. If you have a job, you're going to have to go somewhere and get your taxes done.
That's true.
So I think if we're black, you would think that we want to go black. Let's go to because their ice ain't colder than ours. We got the same software, the same RAL banks. Everything's the same. The only difference is we love you. We hug our clients. I know my clients. My clients got my phone number. I love hearing from my clients. They're like my friends.
I know that'll be another topic, but it's about supporting one another, patronizing.
Exactly.
Being able to go to someone that we can help. But I guess that's another topic.
But that's a dream.
Yeah, that's a dream
and that's
too.
a dream that we're trying to get to. And we've gotten there before, Tulsa, Oklahoma. But every time we get there, the powers that be have a way to make sure that it don't work.
So, we got to learn how to be strengthened in unity and put the money back into the business.
It's the money.
Right? And pour it back into the community and into the business.
All that. And that's why people are going to be coming to black tax offices, because they're going to see us underwriting student loans. My goal is to be on TV being seen giving somebody a check.
Come on now.
Not yet, because I'm just getting started. But as we grow this thing and get that $1 billion, believe me, you're going to have a friend in the United States called Marlon Jackson, and he's going to be here to help all you nonprofits and all these people that need access to capital. $1 billion is a lot of money. Don't get it twisted, So I just hope everybody hears this program and looks at this as a viable means of economy for your family.
Well, before we end, tell my guests again how they can get in touch with you and to reach you in your business. Okay.
Well, my website is blacktaxoffices.com. It's BLACKTAX offices.com. You can always call me at 202-276-6474. My office that I'm at most of the time is in Forestville, Maryland. And I hope I get some calls, because you're going to be surprised. This is something that you can pass on to your children, and they can start now and maybe start taking care of you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Marlon Jackson, who had a dream some years ago. Took 5 principles.
I did.
Made a dream, determination, desire, discipline, and dedication.
I'm still here.
And still here.
Still here.
And thank you once again for watching the David Robinson Show.
You're watching the David Robinson Show
on the Coyoteman
Real
Show Network.
Real talk, real people, real conversation.